What's going on? What's going on, overcomers? God evening, God evening. So, like I said the other day, during my video, my live, I said I was gonna have a sit down live video where we, interact more, where we get to know each other more. We can, Q&A, questions, and I give you answers. And maybe I got some answers. Some questions I want to ask y'all, because I can use all the wisdom that I can. I can learn from you. I can learn from anybody. So I don't discriminate. So welcome. But before I start, or before people start coming in and we start asking questions, I want to read something from a book I'll read that I got from Joyce Myers called Love Out Loud. And this is January 17th. So we're going to go to that page. And it says, make time, take time. That's what she titled it. Now, each page start off with like a scripture at the top, but this seemed like it was written from a man named Corrie ten Boom. Not familiar with his work, but he made this book. I'm sure you're interested. And it says, don't pray when you feel like it. Have an appointment with the Lord and keep it. And then Joyce followed by saying, when we love someone, we want to spend time with that person, particularly when we are in love. We are happy to change our schedules so we can be with that person who has captured our hearts. One way we express our love for God is to prioritize spending time with Him. I like to think of it as keeping a daily appointment with Him, an appointment that is more important than anything else I have to do that day. If I had a dear friend who lived in another city, and I wanted them to come visit my home, I would be delighted to schedule time for that person. I certainly will not accept an invitation to do anything else during that appointment, because I will be so excited to be with my friend. Time spent together will be vital for our ongoing growing relationship. Sometimes we may become slackers in keeping our appointments with God, because we know that He will always be there for us. We may skip or reschedule our time with Him in order to do something else that seems urgent. But if we spent more priority moments with God, we might not have so many urgent situations. A commitment to spend time with God is a serious commitment, one more important than we'll ever make. If you struggle to keep your appointment with God, I encourage you to be disciplined and diligent about that. With persistence, you will reach the point where you so enjoy fellowship with Him that you don't want to live a single day without time spent sharing your love for Him and receiving His love for you. Then it follows with, love God today. Does your daily routine include time for you to be with God? Do you need to make any adjustments in your schedule in order to prioritize Him? I'm sure a lot of us do, but I just wanted to share that. Live Out Loud by Joyce Myers. So, all right. Hello. Bryce D. Thank you, man. You awesome too, man. And I love you too. But I wanted to speak about, like, how did this even come about? Like, why did I start this channel called Overcomer TV? Well, first, what is an overcomer? I believe an overcomer is someone who has conquered difficult circumstances. I believe an overcomer is someone who defeated an enemy. And most of us, like me, I was my own worst enemy, especially the war between the ears. I believe an overcomer is someone who prevails in the conflicts of life. A survivor turned thriver, one who is victorious. So that's what I believe what an overcomer is. So I know y'all might have other definitions, but that's what I believe an overcomer is. An overcomer is the life experience. You can't live life without being tested and tried. So eventually you will become an overcomer. But how did I get here? You know, how did I get here? Because I've struggled with addiction. I struggled with not being able to face my fears. I didn't always take advantage of the discomfort, you know. I was a master of disguise, you know, meaning I would hide. And if you know what I'm talking about, look, when you wear a mask, it's uncomfortable, but you able to hide from people's opinions. You able to hide from truth. And it's just a very dark place. So that's how I got here. And deep down, I knew I was avoiding something. I knew that my behavior wasn't sustainable. I knew that eventually it was gonna catch up, and it did. It caught up with me. You know, I've been through a lot like everybody else. Most of it, 50% of it was self-inflicted. So that's who y'all see today. And I didn't say my name, right? But this is why we're having this sit down. My name is James. I didn't, in all my videos, you don't hear me mentioning my name because I wanted to stay focused on being a vessel. I wanted to keep the main thing, and deliver God's good news, you know? So that's how we got here. But, what's your story, you know? What's some things you have had to overcome, or why are you able to plant the flag and being an overcomer? You know, is it addiction? Is it like me, didn't want to face my fears? Is it anxiety? Somewhere I know you had to overcome something. But that's what y'all see today. Yeah. So, but like I said, Matthew, let's say I snub BTW. I'm sorry, Matthew. I'm not up to speed to a lot of abbreviations. Like even when I text, I don't use emojis and none of that. I don't know what BTW means. So if you can elaborate on that, help me out with that. But shout out to you, Matthew. But what else? Let me see here. But like I was saying, I didn't always find comfort in discomfort. Like even this, even going live, this was very uncomfortable for me. You know, getting in front of the camera or speaking in front of crowds. Anxiety comes up, and it's just not the most comfortable place for me. But like I said, this is the season in finding this comfort and discomfort. So if this is helping anybody, thank you, because you've helped me. But what I was saying was, I didn't get here by myself. I wasn't able to climb out those rabbit holes by myself. If it wasn't for God's grace and His love for me, I'd still be hiding. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all right now. I wouldn't even be confident enough to even claim to be an overcomer. So that's another reason why you always hear me make reference of the Most High, y'all. He has revealed so many things to me, even in the past. Look, we all be hearing these voices. We all hear that voice that say, do it and don't do it. And then somewhere we just cower out. I know I did. There's people that told me that I should speak in front of, that I should be a speaker. I used to make music. I still make music, but like I really was pursuing a hip hop career. No, I didn't get the support I felt I deserved, but it was in my heart to do, and it's still something that I found out I was good at early. But certain things started to chip at my confidence. You know, your support system. They don't always accept that you might have something or going towards something that they wouldn't do. You got to be careful who you tell your secrets to, who you tell your dreams to, because everybody don't have your best interests. And that's something that I know a lot of us had to overcome. Yeah. But what else I can share? Reading. Like me just reading out loud. That was something that prevented my education from going further. I didn't know how to read. I didn't know how to comprehend what I was reading. And anybody that don't know how to read, they know how to hide it very well. I'll give you a story. I used to be in school, right? And I had teachers that I used to watch their patterns. Like they were you had some teachers that would go down the line in a row, and I would count the paragraphs to where which was me, and I would rehearse it. But this the kicker. If I didn't have it down pat by the time she called my name, I was getting out the classroom. There's no way I was going to be humiliated, embarrassed in front of the girl I like or in front of my friends. And I did this for a long time. I didn't start, I believe, comprehending what I was reading until I was an adult. I'm 41 years old. You do the math. Look how long I was wearing that mask. So even me slipping up, I still got, I'm still not the best reader, but I read all the time, and I don't care what anybody think anymore. I love myself, and I'm going to get to where I need to get to, however I need to get there, whether it's being the tortoise or the hare. I choose the tortoise, and as you know, he won the race. So it is never too late. Don't ever count yourself out. I don't care what anybody say. And you make sure you don't tell your own self that, because only the things you tell yourself is what's going to really matter. This is what makes me an overcomer and what makes you an overcomer. So, yeah. I had these visions of being this huge musician. And in Habakkuk 2:3 it says, "For the vision is for an appointed time. Though it may tarry, it will surely come to pass." Now, I might not be the next Grammy Award winner. I might not have a platinum album. But I got songs, and I keep it sharpened. So if anytime, any place that I'm being called, I'll be prepared. And that's one thing. So when things don't go the time you expect, trust that it will. Just like Habakkuk 2:3 said, when it says, though it may tarry, it will surely come to pass. Man, we don't know what tomorrow brings. No, we don't know what next year brings. We don't know. There's people that's up now, and they might be down later. We don't want them to fall, but I'm just saying it's just how life is. I'm in a blue-collar city. One minute you working at McDonald's, the next minute you the man in the streets. That's just how it is. So never give up, man. Never, ever, ever count yourself out. Never. Never. It will cause you lots of pain, and you won't be so fulfilled. So I just wanted to share that. What else? What else? Something I may have had to overcome. So when my support system didn't support me with some of the dreams I may have, you start to take on pieces of them, and you start to onion layer yourself. And trust me, and they not gonna tell you, because what you might not know and what they not telling you is that they secretly admired that you had your own vision, but since they didn't know how to bring it out themselves, out of them, they try to darken your light. And I allowed it to dim my light. People's opinions used to really weigh on me, and that's just something else I had to overcome. People's opinions. People's opinions. We all have them. People's opinions is an illusion. It's not real. It's a mirage. It looked like something. When you get close, it's like, oh man. No, man, don't let people's opinions dissolve who you is. But yeah, these are things you just, this journey was that the love. He don't care if I'm a Grammy Award winner. He don't care if you the head of your class. He don't care if you're rich. None of this matter to the Most High. All this stuff will end one day, and you will be with Him. It took me to go through all that to sit here and rest, assured that I'm gonna be okay, and I'm good. So what? I stumbled on the word. So what? I'm good. I'm getting happy. I'm just getting happy. So yeah. Sometimes you don't be in them, you don't have the right circle around you, and you put a lot of energy or identity in the people you love. The people that got you there ain't gonna be the people that get you to your next destination. And this is I'll give you another one, since what just came to my mind when I said the people, next destination is cutting people off. I had to learn to cut people off. I wanted to be accepted so desperately that I didn't know how to say no. And this is something else I had to overcome. Saying no is one of the newest words in my vocabulary. And I still struggle with that from time to time. A friend A friend of mine texted me the other day in the morning, was, just trying to encourage me, and told me that I can't be everything for everybody. I responded, did you not know I must be about my Father's business? And they said, some things isn't our Father's business, and they right. So say no. Say no. Say how Ronald Reagan, Nancy, his wife, she said she had the campaign about saying no to drugs. I'm dating myself. I told you I'm 41. She used to say no to drugs. No, I say no to people's opinions, people's discouraging words, discouraging actions. Say no to that. Don't accept that. Don't accept that one bit. But yeah, I'm an overcomer, and I wasn't the first, and I ain't gonna be the last. Oh, somebody was they like, what is he doing over there? But anyway, yeah. School, right? When I was talking about my teachers. So I'm an athlete, and if you follow this channel, you see my videos. I work out, I train. But I was a full-time athlete. I thought I was going to the NBA. This is before I thought about making music. And I didn't get the grades. I missed the grades. And I was so embarrassed. I was so humiliated. I didn't want to show up in the school anymore. And it's sad because I literally only went to school to play sports. I didn't understand, education and how far it can take you. I missed the grades, and that same season I would go to the games. So let's say the school was losing. The first thing the people in the crowd would do, like, man, you're supposed to be out there. I used to wiggle out of the crowd and walk home in tears because I felt they was right. And they don't know I wanted to be out there. I did. And so I felt inadequate. I felt stupid. Like, man, I mean, you mean to tell me I can't do the thing I love because I don't know this, or I can't comprehend that? It was painful. And that prevented me, and that made my journey a lot tougher. And this is why I say if it wasn't for God's grace, I would have been called it quits. I would not be an overcomer. If it wasn't for God's love, none of this would be possible. So these is the journeys. This is just my journey. This is my story. So I got so much. So many things, so many hurdles you got to overcome. Some hurdles is not as high. Some hurdles just take one little step, just effort, just an E for effort to overcome that. Then there's some hurdles you face in life where you're going to have to put some torque or tension on that hamstring. Then you got some hurdles you just like, you know what? I'm not even about to hop that. Because being an overcomer is a choice. I choose to do this. I choose to stay in this game. I choose to accept God's love. It was a time where I didn't know how or even thought it was real because of all the mistakes I thought I was making and all the people's opinions, all the criticism, the judgment. I thought they was right. I believed it. And I believed it for years. Which the person you see today, man, I'm making my business to get out. When I wake up out the bed, I'm making my business. I am gonna make a choice that I will overcome anything I face today, and I'm gonna use God's help. So I ask for His protection, His direction, His wisdom, and understanding. These is the tools that on why I can be firm and call myself an overcomer. Is because God sent His Son to die for me to be here. Let me say this again. He sent His begotten Son to lay His life on the line for me? You talking about the man who couldn't know how to read? You talking about the man who quit? Let me take a sip of water for that. You mean to tell me, I'm a father, you mean to tell me you sent your only son to be slain for my freedom? I wouldn't dare call myself nothing less than an overcomer. I'm a child of God, just like you. I wouldn't call myself nothing less than that. Because if His Son was willing to die for me, behold, I have overcame the world. If I'd have knew that in my earlier days, there's a possibility we won't be sitting here. Yeah, so of course I would have loved to know this back then. But now that I have it now, that lets me know that my latter days are much greater than the past. The new opportunities will come. Like I said, for an appointed time, it may tarry, but it will surely come to pass. Man, don't get find comfort in discomfort. You know how uncomfortable it had to be to die for the world? What you willing to die for? I ain't gonna lie, I was willing to die with them lies. I was willing to hide with the man. I was willing. But now I'm willing to be vulnerable. And it just give me this peace, this assurance, this freedom. You know? Yeah. I'm an overcomer. But that's the person y'all see today. James, the overcomer. What's some things that you had to overcome? How tall was that hurdle? Did you have support? Speaking of support, right? Sometimes you can't just assume people think you need support. See, because since I wasn't getting support that I felt I needed, I was supporting everybody else. And when you do that, people don't think you need help. I learned this. The person that's probably doing most of the helping, they probably need more help than anybody they help. And I'll raise my hand to that. I'm one of them. I never seen nobody ask for help. I mean, people ask me, but I'm like, I'm talking about the underlying issues. Like I said, addictions, fears, in relationships, for guidance. I didn't ask for help. So I urge people who watching this, Don't be afraid to ask. Look, every time I send my daughter off to school in the morning, I say, baby girl, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to help others. She probably be looking at me like, she probably can like know what I'm about to say, but I just plant that seed. And I do that because that curse ends with me. Yeah. I plant that seed so she don't have to face, she gonna have her own little issues, but the one that I face, she'll have some tools. And that's another thing, tools, skills. I was willing, but I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the skills to apply in my difficult circumstance, you know? So don't be afraid to ask for help. Nah. It's not weak. I never thought it was weak. It was just that it wasn't displayed in front of me. And if I would have asked for help, they would have seen how the judgment would have been like, oh man, you know, it would have, it just would have made piled more criticism and judgment on me. So I would just hide. I wouldn't say nothing. I just, okay, what you need me to do? Knowing I need them to do things. So don't put yourself second on purpose all the time. I'm not saying to not lay your sword down and be selfless, but man, you gotta take care of yourself. You can't overcome or help other people really overcome in your best efforts if you don't take care of thyself. So, for real, don't let take them opportunities you get, man, and counter on them. Knock on some doors. Ask questions. You know? I wouldn't ask. I'll sit back thinking, well, they probably gonna reject me. And that was a fear of mine, rejection. You know, like, nah, they gonna say no. They gonna see that I can't read, or they gonna see that I don't know that problem. They gonna see this. So I wouldn't make an attempt. So I did say 50 earlier in this video. I did say 50% of it was self-inflicted. But the other side was my environment. And it don't matter what title they have. It can be, it don't matter if they're your parent, if they're, you know, your day one friend, don't matter. Nah, man, don't just think because they have a certain title that they gonna give you what you need. You gotta get out there. But the first person you need to trust is God and the man in the mirror, or that woman in the mirror. Seriously. Trust yourself. I tell my baby girl this all the time. You know, she athletic like me, you know, doing backflips. I mean, the girl is cold. And she was doing backflips, and she's, you know, her face scraped the carpet. You know, little burn. But she did it again and did it again. But I'm in the background like, trust yourself. And she just keep doing it. Trust yourself. Now, it's times where I cringe like, no, don't do. But I gotta let her fly. I gotta let her spread her wings. So some of them things that I face, she ain't gonna have to face. Yeah. And a overcomer, this is another definition. An overcomer is a curse breaker. Is a chain breaker. Yeah. That's who you is. Don't let nobody tell you different. Not even yourself. Don't let nobody tell you different. But yeah, maybe. So I got a new schedule, right? So I might have to do these every Friday. So if y'all like this and y'all want to continue to have these conversations, you know, maybe every Friday I'll sit down and do this. So stay tuned. How y'all doing?
Oh, now I didn't hear it.
But yeah, stay tuned. It ain't over. But yeah. So it's January, right? And I know a lot of y'all had started y'all New Year's resolutions, and I just learned, I think it was the 10th, that it was a such thing as quit week. Man, quit week. Within 10 days of starting these resolutions, people quit. Don't quit. And I'm gonna make sure I inspire you to continue to overcome. Now, you don't want to, so you want to make, manageable expectations, baby steps. You don't have to. So I'll give you an example. I was so deep in the hole, like in my secret soothing, in my addictions, that I used to have to applaud hours. So it's 24 hours in a day, right? So I will have to applaud, like, okay, I did this 13 hours. I got 15 hours of the day where I won. Like, man, if you got to start off that small to applaud yourself, to get over the hump, to start having that confidence, peace in yourself, reconnecting with yourself, man, every hour. If you didn't backslide or on that addiction or that fear, an hour go by, man, clap up. Yeah, man, count that as a win. Another hour go by, you didn't go down that rabbit hole, you didn't go into the dark. That's a win. Yeah, man, if you got to start just hours, and then now it's like, oh, this day, oh yeah, I went a week. We're not looking for perfectionism. It's just progression. Just gradually, the purpose God placed in front of you. So count that as a win. Like, I'm counting this as a win, man. What did I? Man, nah. I mean, I did music, I did concerts, I did plenty of them. But nothing like this. Nothing nowhere on the extent where I'm stripping away and being my authentic raw self. This is freedom. This is winning. So count your wins, man. Start small if you have to. You don't have to get everything in one whop. But yeah, I'm getting hungry, right? The other day I had spaghetti and meatballs. Question. So I like my spaghetti with meatballs with the sauce on top. Or do you like it all mixed in one with the ground beef or whatever you put, whatever you like in your spaghetti, all in one? I like mine with meatballs and the sauce on top. But I'm getting a little hungry, so I just want to check in with y'all. I appreciate all the comments, all the subscribers. I appreciate the likes, the views. Thank y'all so much for helping contributing to this channel's growth. I don't know. All I'm just doing is just being and just moving, following my heart. So thank you. I love you. Now go have the best day ever. I love my overcomers.